Okay, before
Never
before we start to Graham, I picked 2 winners. I went back through the comments and I did write to them because one of them didn't have an email address attached, and I'm like, you guys send me an email to.
Are they people that we know?
Ray Martin was
Yeah.
one of them. Okay.
Ray's graduated high school, Chillicothe,
Okay.
Ohio.
Well, he said he really enjoyed it, and so he was for.
That's Shady Ray. Ray.
So
Actually,
if you
we should
want
have Ray come.
If you want to say his name, you can. I just don't know the other person.
Yeah, Ray is a DJ and a drummer. He's in a band.
Oh, wow.
Well,
Here, let me read you his comment. He said, so he said, first time watching, really enjoyed it. Smile, thumbs up. And I said, thanks so much for your comment, Ray. We are very happy you tuned in. You are the winner of our $50 Amazon gift card. Reach out with your email address and we will get that right over to you.
And did he?
I don't know. I just did that 47 minutes ago.
Got it. No, that makes me a lot of happy. Yeah, Ray's over in Chillicothe.
Awesome. Yeah.
Past the fire, past the sounds. Moonshine through the clouds, saddle up, 'cause there's no stopping me now.
Well, guess what we're going to talk about today? It'll be shocking to you.
Certainly nothing to do with health and well-being.
All about health and well-being. But it's an episode called What If Grandma Was Right? What if Grandma was right?
Okay.
And then kind of looking at all of the ways that we've sort of messed things up by swinging the pendulum so far to the extreme, like fat-free to high fat. You know, for a long time, all the food was low fat, no fat, and they filled it with all this processed stuff. And then that was in the 80s, I'm thinking, like late 70s, 80s.
60s.
Low fat? No,
Well,
low fat wasn't.
Low fat was
60s.
when 60s was when processing became a thing. Like the preservation of food to stay on the shelf, whether it was bread or tang. Mm-hmm. You know, 60s, early 70s is when, hey, let's put all this chemical stuff in here and it'll stay on the shelf longer.
Yeah.
And we'll call it cheese and they'll fall for it. It's actually Velveeta, which we have no idea what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was the late 70s throughout the 1980s and even into the 1990s.
Yep.
So, and the concern, of course, was saturated fat, cholesterol.
Well, they vilified
and
some
heart
things.
disease.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
They
The people
twisted
who
it.
love sugar, make and manufacture sugar, vilified the people who make and manufacture things with fat.
Yeah.
And we fell for it.
Yeah, we fell for it. But then we went to the extreme, the other direction, and now we are dealing with the repercussions of that, which is,
What you talk about?
well, over
We really should
70%
rehearse.
obesity. And
You should tell me what we're going to talk about.
you're so good at just kind of going with the flow.
All right.
And fatty liver disease. Like 90% of the population is afflicted by some form of fatty liver disease.
So is fatty liver disease because of dietary fat?
I believe that it has.
This is not a belief system. I don't want your belief. I want to know what you know.
For sure. Absolutely.
Well,
100%.
I'm going to say, and this is just me thinking out loud, I don't have the facts, but one of the things that happened in the sugar industry when they made sugar so popular was they had all this leftover corn crap and they didn't know what to do with it. So they created with it high fructose corn syrup, which is actually significantly less expensive than sugar and readily available as a byproduct or whatever else. And high fructose corn sugar is processed in the liver very differently than cane sugar. And it slows it down, slugs it up. And that's a great reason for fat to accumulate in the liver because carbohydrates that don't get burnt get converted to fat somewhere, whether it's, peripheral fat or whether it is fat that hangs around in your guts and glands. But I don't know. I
is
don't know that
definitely
there's,
implicated
I mean, if
in
you
it.
eat more fat, you're going to get fat.
Right.
No doubt. But one of the other contributing factors in the 70s and 80s was high fructose corn syrup.
Right. That's when it came on the market. And
Yes.
thankfully, my mom knew that it was trash and she
It's
would not
poisonous.
allow it
It's
into our
absolutely
home
poisonous.
because of those reasons.
But
It's not the same as sugar.
It's also probably why we're dealing with so much insulin resistance is high fructose corn syrup.
Well, that's because it's still on the market.
Right.
Like it came along.
And most cultures don't allow it into their food supply.
Right. Yeah, but we do.
You know, but
yeah.
here in the good old USA, it's big biz, big ag.
So The reason why it was on my mind is because a lot of my weight loss peptide clients, they're fine tuning their macros right now. My goal with clients.
Can you imagine our ancestor, your grandma?
Yeah.
Can you imagine your grandmother saying, well, I'm trying to fine tune my macros?
Well, that's exactly right. They didn't care about those things. They're like, just get outside, go play.
Yes.
But my goal is always optimal results at the lowest doses, right?
Of course.
And so it's really refining what they're eating to make sure that they're doing their part, so the peptides can do their part,
All right. I'm just going to let this play out.
Just let this play out for a second. But this is how the fat thing came up, because the past couple of days there's been several people that I've talked to that revealed to me that their favorite snack is almonds, because they were told that almonds are high in protein.
All right, sir.
And that they can consume as much as they want, basically. And that's not true.
This note brought to you by the Almond Society.
Right. So 28 almonds have only 6 grams of protein.
Okay.
But they have 14 grams of fat. The macros that are my recommendation for my clients that are on this journey is 28 grams of fat for the whole day.
All right.
So having a handful of nuts, which usually isn't just one handful because they are very
Nobody
addictive.
can eat just one.
And so that's half of their fat, what their daily fat intake should be.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times I will start out by saying, no nuts for the first month, because people are just, they don't know how to regulate
They think
that.
it's a healthier snack.
They think it's a healthier snack.
Is there a difference between tree nuts, ground nuts? I mean,
Not when it comes to
not all
calories
nuts
and
are
fats.
created equally.
They're not. No, and there's
They're
some.
not all treated equally. I know almonds are gassed. Almonds are like notoriously.
But you can get
polluted.
organic ones that aren't horrible. Yeah. But that's not,
Doesn't matter if they're roasted, cooked.
not
raw.
from the protein fat perspective. So don't throw me off my groove, okay? But yes, they are all, they're all processed
What if I put them
differently.
in Chex Mix with some paprika and Cheez-Its and those little stick pretzels?
He must be hungry, you guys.
No.
Should I have brought you some snacks? Are you being a pill?
You know what I had for lunch? Guacamole and almond crackers.
What? From where? That you had here? Mm-hmm. Okay. So this also brings up the fact that people will say,
I have a lot of fat.
Well, I had avocado on my salad, and and avocado is healthy fat.
Okay.
But it's also really calorie dense for what
Yes.
you're getting.
Right.
Yeah. But it's that swing to high fat, whole food, ketosis, keto diets that put us in this space.
Okay.
Well,
how do I lose weight if I'm eating fat then? How does the keto diet or the carnivore diet, how do I lose weight? Those people get skinny.
for a while.
And then what happens?
And then they aren't anymore, and they become their joints start hurting because they're too acidic,
Mm-hmm.
and there's all kinds of things that happen.
I'm asking these questions like I don't know the answer. These
know,
are like
you know.
softballs. I'm just lobbing them up so
Okay,
you
so
can hit them.
did I answer that right?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay.
But the body needs carbohydrate. You're right. They'll get thin for a while,
Yes.
but you can't trick it,
No.
The creator put 3 forms basically that we need to eat: fats, proteins, and carbs.
Right.
And we need them all. They're all here for a reason.
So here's an interesting side note, which was really revolutionary to me. When I was really sick back in 2022, the only thing I wanted to eat was watermelon.
A lot
I
of
ate
watermelon.
so much watermelon. And this was before I realized how sick I was. But it's because my body wasn't able to digest other foods. It was so involved in just keeping me alive that, I could just eat watermelon. But once I was on the other side of that, our functional nurse practitioner and the functional doctor were like, this is what you guys need to make her. And she needs to eat this like 5 times a day.
Here's the thing about, and
Yeah.
again, when you were really, really unwell, it was a respiratory lung kind of a challenge.
You can't
and
breathe.
you can't breathe when you're chewing.
Right.
And your oxygen content would drop so low that if you were chewing and not breathing, your oxygen would go in the 80s. And it was
Which
a
is very
nightmare.
low.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it shouldn't be below 95. And the watermelon was nice because you could actually suck it
Right.
and
Exactly.
get it down
And still
without having to chew much.
Yeah.
But if you took a bite of anything crunchy or anything even soft to chew, well, not really soft, but like
So the reason why I brought this up is because they had you guys make this thing that we referred to lovingly as meat mousse.
Yeah.
And it was literally
dark
potatoes
dark
that
chicken,
were the
mashed
carbs
potatoes and butter
and butter.
and
Yeah.
and that's
And butter.
it.
And that's it. So it was like this perfect combination of high protein, high carb, high fat.
Yep. And we
And
just put it in the Vitamix. I would just cook
grind
up
it
all
up.
these chicken thighs all at one time, strip the meat, dump it in the blender, put it in with mashed potatoes and a big old stick of butter.
So they didn't say go to KFC and grab some chicken
No,
and a pint of their mashed potatoes. It wasn't that
No,
kind
they were
of thing.
organic chickens. They were
it
good
was-
butter. It was
stuff.
good taters. And
And it got me back to nourished quickly because you need those building blocks to recover. I was listening to a podcast today that talked about how we don't allow convalescence in our society. As soon as we're feeling okay, as soon as we get over an illness, we are right back to our high stress lifestyles.
Okay.
And that in generations past, that you went to a convalescent home where you could actually recover from whatever you're dealing with. So I thought that was
and they would
interesting.
put you in the sun. And
Put
they
you
would
in the
make sure
sun,
you were hydrated.
feed you good food, not
and they
hospital
would let you
food.
nap when it was nap time.
Yes,
and they
exactly.
would sleep when the sun goes down.
Exactly. So that was I thought that was fascinating because we don't even think about those things. So what if so we're not saying that medicine is bad. You know, when we're talking
We
about
haven't talked
how
about medicine.
No, we haven't even talked about medicine. But what
Although nobody gets sick because they're low on medicine, everybody gets sick because they're eating trash and not sleeping and staying stressed and not sunlight. And
I think, backtracking a little bit, it's like that I just feel like I'm even looking in our own refrigerator at our peptides, in our own cabinet with all of our supplements. And I see how much money we spend on wellness. And I feel like other people are spending lots of money on care, but it's a struggle for them to get well and stay well.
well,
And I mean, I just feel like we're still exhausted. We're still inflamed. We're still stressed. And I don't know how to get to the other side of that.
well, the money portion of it is we've been led to believe your insurance should cover whatever you need to get healthy. And that's a complete role of fiction as well.
Right, yeah.
So they call it health insurance, which is a big fat lie. It's disease insurance or crisis management insurance. And they're not going to cover your organic chicken thighs, and they're
Right.
not going to cover your supplements because
Yeah.
those are actually things that will help you regain your health. They will help you cover drugs that manage your condition.
Right.
Name one drug that's cured anything.
Yeah, so you're
You
saying
get to
that
use
it's
your diabetic medication for the rest of your natural life. It
Yeah.
doesn't cure anything. It manages the sickness long enough for you to get dead. That's it.
yeah.
Right. And so, but people have been led to believe that it should be covered by insurance and there should be universal health care. Well, what there should be is universal health management, not health care.
You mean wellness management?
Well, no, health by definition
Okay,
is
yeah.
not the absence. It's the absence of disease or infirmity. It has nothing
Right.
to do with how you feel. Right. And so part of that is mindset. We've been tricked. We've been propagandized into thinking certain things that aren't true. And then if we actually have to spend money on our well-being, we get pissed.
Yeah.
Like, well, my goodness, this isn't covered by my insurance, so I'm not going to do it. Well, that's not a good way to think about things
Right.
when you look at your supplement cabinet. It should contain the things that help you maintain and regain your health. It shouldn't. And who should pay for that? It's your health.
It's your health. Yeah.
Your insurance company doesn't care. Somebody in a big glass building is designed to cut your insurance premiums or your insurance reimbursement. They're not here to make sure you get your money's worth. They're here to make sure you lose your money and never get it back.
Yeah.
So if you're going to go to the health food store, which is another whole fascinating concept, expect to spend your resources on the things that are valuable in your life. So if your health is valuable, you should be investing in it. That's why you should be exercising. That's why you should be careful with what you eat and drink. That's why, so part of the thing we've been tricked into is thinking somebody else should be financing our health care. And that's a load of crap. Pardon my French.
Yeah. Well, and actually it's interesting. We'll have to talk about this new insurance company that I just connected with yesterday that actually does pay you back for some self-care things,
Yes.
like even vitamins and supplements and diagnostic tools and things like that too. So we can talk about that another day.
Well,
but
it is a thing.
It's nice that it comes back. Like if you're going to put that money in, it's nice to be able to have that money come back to
Well,
you.
it's
for the
nice to
things
have
that you
somebody
use.
honor their agreement.
Yeah.
If they're going to call it insurance and then they're going to say, if you sign here and give us this much money, we will do this for you. And then they give you 20 reasons a day why they won't do that for you.
Yeah.
They don't hold up their end of the bargain. You know, we got in January, we got our, was it Anthem? Who do we got?
Yeah, Anthem raised our premium $500 a month. A month, and we were already paying
increased the
above
deductible.
$1,000.
So we have a $10,000 deductible. They raised it $500 a month.
Yeah, yeah.
And so no increase in benefit. We
No
saw
increase in benefit.
no
Yeah.
benefit of that. They just said, you owe us $500 more. And by the way, your deductible is $10,000 per person.
Yeah.
And so what did we do?
Switched,
Canceled it.
canceled it.
I said, cancel this. I'd
December
rather fly
31st.
without it. I would rather fly
Yeah.
naked than keep giving them money
know.
for services they don't reimburse.
Right.
And so we did. We canceled it. We came up with a couple of different options
Yeah.
for it.
So we went to Christian Health Ministry, which is they considered an insurance share.
Yeah.
And that I just needed a temporary filler.
And that's a collective group of people
Yes.
who are theoretically, everybody's kind of like holding up their end of the bargain.
Right.
Like we're going to do the things necessary to stay healthy and well. And if we need help, we can support each other with these dollars or these resources. But the reality is, if we can stay well together, we will all spend less money on this thing called managing sickness.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Overall.
I think everybody, what a ballsy move this would be to just have everybody stop paying their health insurance premiums. Just stop paying them. I mean, what a revolution that would create. Now, half
wow.
of you,
Yeah.
most of you, in fact, don't ever see that money. It's money that's in your benefits package through your employer. But imagine if your employer just put that money in your paycheck and you got to decide whether you spend
Yeah.
it on supplements or chiropractic care
Yeah.
or
That's the
wellness-oriented things. So, yeah, we think that the benefits, well, I don't want to take a job that doesn't have good benefits. Well, it's not beneficial if you don't get any benefit out of it. It's so dumb. We have fallen for some of the dumbest things. I don't know how we got off on this.
I don't
but I can
either.
feel
I'm
my blood
sorry.
pressure going
I
up.
know. Yeah, just bring it down, babe. One of the things that happened with the fat-free craze was that when they took all of the fat out, they included dairy. And so I'd love for you to like fill in about fat-free dairy and how that's where we get lactose intolerance.
First of all, dairy is a fascinating thing to me. Like drinking milk is fascinating to me. We're
Yeah.
like the only species on the planet that readily purchases and drinks the milk of a different species. Like most other animals on the planet don't do that.
But they've
However,
probably been doing it for a long time.
oh, well, and
I
not
mean,
to
think about goat's
disparage
milk
dairy.
and
I'm
all.
not saying
No,
that.
no.
I'm just saying
but-
that you don't see.
But if
the
you're going to
squirrels are
drink-
not drinking possum milk or whatever. So the reality is, we've just been kind of told, here's how you should do that, but
But
it
then
falls
the
into
fat-free thing happened.
well,
That's
it
where
falls
I'm
into the
going.
category of the more you alter it
Yeah.
from its natural state, the less beneficial it will be for the people who consume it. So if you extract fat from a dairy product, it changes the pH of that product dramatically.
And the protein, right?
The protein structure
exposes
stays
it.
the same.
But it exposes it.
And cows have 4 stomachs to break it down, and we have one. So they'll say, well, you must be lactose intolerant. Well, no, you're drinking the protein of another species, and your stomach is going to wonder what to do about it.
So if people leave the fat in their dairy products, do they do better?
They have to do better because the fat's kind of a buffer. The fat reduces the acidity. It modifies the pH. If you're going to have dairy products, and I love a dairy, don't get me
Yes,
wrong.
we love ice cream, you guys.
Cottage cheese or
Yeah.
cheddar. I love a little cheddar.
You love a little
But the reality is, again, it's going to be a wrestling match for people. The more fat you take out of it, the less it will be beneficial.
Yeah. So then when the pendulum swung
How'd you
to
do this? How'd you get me
high-fat-
all revved up?
I don't know. I'm
You
sorry.
better cut it out.
So then the pendulum swung in the other direction, and suddenly butter was a superfood. People were putting butter in their coffee,
All right.
like
sir.
tablespoons of butter in their coffee.
Why is that?
Well, because that was the whole food keto.
Okay, we
swing.
need more fat. We need more fat.
Right, exactly.
Got it.
So everything became that high fat thing, and then that wasn't the answer either. It's just I think we just want to have like these simple answers to complex health issues. Right?
Well, we complicated them. They're fairly simple. They're fairly simple issues. If you play by the rules of just your own physiology.
Yeah.
Now, again, we can go backwards in time and say, well, here's when things started deviating from normal. But the reality is you're engineered to eat food. You're not engineered to process synthetic chemistry.
Right. It's true.
So the more processed a food is, just because they call it food doesn't make it nourishing. We're the most overfed and undernourished population of people on the globe.
Right.
Fatter, sicker, slower than any other population on the globe. And we spend more money managing our misery than any other population on the globe.
Yeah. So, I was thinking about this the other day, or I did a post about buzzword bingo. It's like people just want these simple, clickable things.
Everybody's
Clickable
looking for a
things.
shortcut.
Yeah, it's looking for a shortcut.
Nobody wants to do the long cut.
Because first it was fat, and then became carbs was the villain, and I'm sure that there'll be a new villain soon too. They're looking for something. Well, right now it's seed oils, right? And seed oils for the most part are bad, but guess what I'm starting to hear? Seed oils aren't so bad.
Well, it depends on who you want to listen to.
And it depends on who you want to listen to. And that's what's this influencer lifestyle is so scary for most people.
If people
because
just
they don't
listen to their
know.
body, right? If you want to figure this out, keep a food journal.
Yeah.
Write
Yeah.
down what you eat, when you eat it, and how you feel 2 hours later. Am I happier? Am I sad? Am I melancholy? Am I energized? Am I sluggish? Is my bowel moving on a regular basis?
Sleeping.
Am I getting good sleep at night? Do I feel flexible? Do I feel angry and richety and ratchety and inflamed?
Yeah.
If you just write down what you eat, when you eat it, and how you feel 2 hours later, keep a food journal. And that means everything that goes in your
Everything.
mouth.
Like
Everything you eat and
even if
drink.
you lick the spoon making some brownies,
Well,
all of that.
But it means everything has to go on that list. And you'll figure out what's making you feel miserable, and you'll figure out what helps you feel better. We're not even touching on gut health and the fact that you got to metabolize it to process it and blah, blah, blah. If you're taking proton pump inhibitors, you're not digesting your food anyway.
Anyways.
You're struggling to get things into the tissue because it's not breaking down if there's not enough acid.
Or it could be not enough enzymes, there's a lot of things. And so when I think about, the tools that we do have, like modern medicine and modern science has brought us some really fun things to evaluate what's going on in the form of testing, because you can get those answers pretty readily and really easily.
Yes.
If you're seeking them.
Yeah. Blood work won't fib to you.
Or GI 360.
GI 360, a Dutch test.
Dutch test
there
for
are
hormones.
There are
There's
things
autoimmune
that will
arrays that you
give
can
you
do.
data. But like I said, we've polluted ourselves from birth with injectable things that don't belong, and then we wonder why the system continues to malfunction.
Yeah.
We're not checking the nerve system of our newborns. We're not checking the nerve system of our children. We're wondering how much screen time is too much screen time, and we're wondering why everybody's flying off the handle and nobody's doing anything about it.
Yeah.
So, like I said, until we get back to some very basic things.
And not being extreme, like not going to those extremes. Because just because somebody for a while said avoid fats, then people are like, eat all the fats. And then some people are saying run lots. And then other people are saying, don't do cardio. Or avoid the sun. No, get some sun.
A little common sense will get you pretty far in the game.
But social media and influencers are rewarded by extremes. That's where I feel like this comes to. Because people don't really want to hear about moderation and consistency that works really well. It's
Like what?
Moderation and consistency.
Yeah. Moderate. What do you mean?
Moderation in food, moderation in exercise, moderation.
You mean I can have some
in
chocolate,
stress.
I just can't live on chocolate?
Yes.
I can have
Yes. In fact, another client that I talked to, she's like, I'm really feeling like I need something because I'm doing great and all this, but I almost feel too restricted. I'm like,
do what you want.
Well, I'm like, you do need to enjoy your life. All of these foods are here on this planet because God gave them to us for the most part. And
Well,
I'm
if
talking
we're eating
about
the food God gave us,
exactly
80% of what's in the store is not that.
Right, exactly. But I'm like, just have an ounce of chocolate every day as part, like as your supplement.
Good chocolate. Get the good stuff.
The organic, high cacao chocolate. And that way you have that little satisfaction.
But that's part of the challenge with dieting. Everybody thinks it's about restriction. It's not about restriction. It's about what do I got to do to get healthier? What do I got to do to feel better, move better, sleep better, think better? And we think of it as punishment. What do you mean I can't have Doritos? Well, they're poisonous. And so if you want to keep eating them, go ahead. Just don't expect to get healthier.
Nothing's going to change. But going back to the social media thing. So people click on this one food is destroying your life, and then they can latch onto that. It's like, finally, I have the answer.
All I have to do is that.
Yes. Or this one hack changes everything.
Right.
And people, they love certainty, but biology isn't simple and everybody's different. Right?
I think that sums it up nicely.
Yeah. Yeah. We're wonderfully
People are
complicated.
similar, but not the same.
Yeah.
But you got to learn the rules. And if you don't know the rules, that's okay. But hang out with somebody who does.
Yeah.
Connect with somebody who does.
Right, exactly.
And once you begin playing by better rules, you will see better outcomes. This is not rocket science. It does require some thinking. And if you don't want to do it, connect to somebody who's already done it and do what they say.
And think about what your grandmother did.
And turn your television off and don't scroll on your computer for
Go
data.
meet your neighbors. Sit on the porch if you have it. Drink lemonade with real sugar.
If you want.
It's so refreshing. It's such a refreshing drink. We don't need to be spending all this money on red light therapy, walking pads, sleep apps. I mean, I had to get rid of my Aura ring because that was just stressing me out so bad. Vitamin D supplements. Sleep. Sleep apps, like sleep applications, like Aura rings. Yeah, not sleep apnea, because that's a situation that you don't want to mess with.
Sleep apnea is a condition that's facilitated by the things we've just discussed. Do better things and you'll need less help sleeping, period.
Yeah. And one of the things that I do have, like if you're needing help with macros, is I have a guide that you guys can have access to. It's the Radiant Rhythm, or the Radiant Reset Rhythm. And it helps with circadian eating and utilizing macros the proper way and really helping to fuel your body in a way that optimizes the foods that you're eating and the foods that you're not eating so that you have a better wellness outcome.
So what you're telling me is you're willing to kind of help people get a good jump
I
start.
would love that. Yes.
Right. How do they get it?
I'll put it in the description. The show notes. I'll have it in there. And it's a $17 guide, but I'm going to put a free code in there so you can grab it.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So it'll be fun.
Well, that was rowdy.
That was rowdy. You were rowdy. He got rowdy.
Well, you poked the bear.
Yeah. No. Yeah, we're good.
All right, fine. What should they do?
Like, subscribe, follow, and share.
And I'll try to be happier next time.
All right, you guys. Thanks for tuning
See ya.
in. See you next week. Bye.
She commented, or she texted me after the last episode when we were talking about Theo of Golden. And so we had a nice little exchange about that. It's a magical book. You would love it.
Except for I saw you cry so many times. I don't know that I would.
You didn't see me cry. I got something in my eye.
Multiple
it was
crying.
It was not.
Multiple crying while we're on vacation. I'm like, that's not a book I want to listen to.
It was. It
know,
was fabulous.
I just didn't need all that emotion when I can just read a dumb romance novel. Yeah, I would much rather be doing this.
Well, it's a good story.
No, and you know what? I trust Cindy,
you'd
and I
rather
trust
be married
you.
to a man who has the occasional good cry, wouldn't you?
Absolutely, yes, your tender side.
That's so sad. What a sad day.